I'm showing you the top 15 greatest shots drained in NBA history that were seemingly impossible to make and the clutchest daggers we've ever witnessed. You'll find out what made each one monumental yet deadly for their opponents, which will lead to the mesmerizing shot that's deemed the best in the league's 73-year tenure. Welcome to D-Flow Hoops. If this is your first time here and you're craving for entertaining NBA content during the suspension, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Number 15, Kobe's late game poise. The Pistons had a 6-point lead with 47.8 seconds to go in Game 2 of the 04 Finals. Threatening to go up 2-0 heading back home to Detroit, Shaq grabbed a fading Kobe three-point miss and converted his own version of a three-point play. After getting a stop though, Ben Wallace wasn't going to let Shaq get another and one off a board. Someone needed to step up.
And everyone is paying attention to Kobe Bryant.
They start with Shaq. He gives it to Walton. Here comes Kobe. Less than 5 from way outside. Got it! Oh, man! With 2.1.
3 feet behind the arc, Kobe sent the game to OT where the Lakers would tie the series. He was guarded by Tayshaun Prince and then Richard Hamilton perfectly switched on to him after a pin down. Those were two of the best perimeter defenders in the league at the time, yet from 2 simple yet beautifully sold hesitation dribbles, Kobe was able to get the inch of space he needed to rise up, and the special confidence plus focus of the Black Mamba did the rest. Number 14, Vinnie Johnson's championship-sealing dagger. It's Game 5 of the 1990 NBA Finals. The bad boy Pistons had been all over the Clyde Drexler-driven Blazers, leading the series 3-1. In a back-and-forth game, bench guard nicknamed Microwave Vinnie Johnson was his team's 5th leading scorer in the series and had 1 point in the first 3 quarters. Then, out of nowhere, Johnson found his mid-range rhythm, scoring 15 points in the 4th quarter. And with the game tied, Vinnie did this when Isaiah Thomas threw him the ball with 5 seconds left.
There's the pick out. Vinnie Johnson with 1 second to go. His shot is good! With 7/10 of a second. Timeout, Portland.
The Microwave secured the Pistons their 2nd straight title. He's one of the more underrated bench players in league history. Number 13, LeBron's Game 7 in-your-face shot. Made famous off hating LeBron, Skip Bayless has been the dictator to this day to a fair percentage of casual fans behind this narrative.
LeBron James is the most protected superstar in sports history. LeBron James down the stretch turned it over 3 times in the last 3 minutes, missed the tying 3, long rebound, Chris Bosh, boom into the corner to Ray Allen. Money.
I only showed you that, hater, because although LeBron's teammates bailed him out in the prior game, God forbid that would ever happen, but what Bayless completely ignores is how James persevered the next game in Game 7, making half of his 3-point attempts, scoring 37 points, and when the Spurs were in it down the stretch, he did this.
James pulls up, puts it in, 4-point lead.
Under control with all the pressure on him, in an incredibly emotional series, James made a tough shot in the face of Kawhi Leonard to put the Spurs out of reach, securing his 2nd straight Finals MVP. More to come on this series later on. Number 12, Robert Horry's championship shots. Big Shot Bob's got a number of clutch game savers and winners in his bag of daggers, but I'm keying in on 2 of his greatest. The first one being in a series widely regarded as one of the greatest of all time. When Kobe missed, appearing to get fouled, and Shaq's tip-in was all over the place, the ball got smacked out to the 3-point line, landing fortuitously in the hands of Robert Horry.
Ball tipped out to Horry, a straight on 3. Good! The Lakers have won!
He calmly sank the shot at the buzzer that saved the Lakers en route to their 3rd consecutive title. And I want to key in on his under-pressure shot with the Spurs down 2 in Game 5 of the 05 Finals.
Here's Ginobili. Horry for 3. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
Robert scored all 21 of his points in the final 17-plus minutes. The 5-time champion Horry's one of the clutchest players of all time. Number 11, MJ sends Cleveland home. An iconic shot to this date took place in Game 5 of the first round in the 1989 NBA playoffs. With the Cavs and Bulls tied 2 apiece in a best-of-5 series, down by 1 with 3 seconds remaining, MJ fought his way open to receive the pass.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. It's good! The buzzer! Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago!
With two defenders on him, MJ ruthlessly found his way to receive the inbound, caught it, and jab stepped simultaneously, took two intimidating dribbles as if he was going to drive to the rim, and nailed one of the clutchest off-balance fadeaways you'll ever see. Number 10, Magic skyhook and his fadeaway game winner at the buzzer. A pair of generationally tough and clutch shots from Magic Johnson takes this ranking's 10th spot. The first one being his shot in the 1987 Lakers-Celtic finals, where LA was down a single point inbounding on the baseline with 7 seconds left.
Being guarded by Dennis Johnson. Byron Scott is in the ball game now. 5 seconds to go. Magic with a hook shot, scores with 2.
Irvin displayed why we call him Magic. He passed up a jumper and did nothing less than his best Kareem Abdul-Jabbar impersonation, hitting a beastly skyhook over Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, and Robert Parrish. This put LA up 2-1 in the series, where they'd win the title in 6 games. The very next season in December, Johnson somehow hit a game winner, even more miraculous, and again the Celtics were the victim.
There's Magic, got it. Magic fires, it's in, the Lakers win the game! The Lakers win the game!
Off 1 foot with a hand in his face from long range? That's some damn special stuff. Dare I say some magic. Number 9, Damian Lillard's daggers. With the 2014 Rockets threatening to tie the series at 3 games apiece heading back, perfectly called by ESPN's Mike Tirico, Parsons completely falls asleep on the play, which gave Lillard a head start to catch the inbound. Watching this live, the degree of difficulty made it utterly shocking when this dropped in. Just under 5 years later, Dame sent another team packing with a dagger.
To send the Thunder home. Lillard, long range 3, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Being that he's just inside half court, even an all-defensive first-team defender Paul George thought that after this dribble combo, Lillard would drive to the rim. Instead, Dame's range passed another clutch test, as Lillard stepped back for a 27-foot bomb to win yet another playoff series. Number 8, James stings Orlando and Indiana. It's the 2009 East Finals, and Cleveland's on the verge of losing both games at home. With a few seconds left, Hedo Turkoglu hits a pull-up jumper, leaving just a second on the clock, breaking the heart of every person in the building, except for one man, that being King James. LeBron nicely sold a cut to the rim, swiftly popped out behind the line, and
Gets it to LeBron for 3 for the win. Yes! LeBron James at the buzzer!
look at that sound D from Turkoglu. Right in his grill, but the generationally great focus of James combined with an extremely confident release led him to achieve an all-time great buzzer beater. 9 years later in the same building, this time in Game 5 of the first round, but nearly in the same spot.
Triggers in. James, 2 seconds, 1 second to the win. LeBron James delivers.
Number 7, Kyle Lowry versus the Heat. Kyle was shooting 3 of 13 overall in the game, and Toronto was down 3 with 3.3 seconds left. Given that Lowry's confidence to make any type of solid play seemed out the window, and that the Raptors had 0 timeouts, it made this moment implausible.
Tie. Lowry. Half-court heave. A prayer at the buzzer. Oh! Kyle Lowry! He hits! Overtime in Toronto!
Lowry nearly lost the ball on the inbound and was nearly out of bounds, but then he gave himself some solid momentum off the bounce and was able to release the chuck inches behind half court. Toronto lost in OT, but D-Wade's reaction to this tells the whole story, and this was an incredible moment to watch live. Number 6, West's answered prayer. 46 years earlier, the logo Jerry West pulled off an attempt that go on to be considered the league's most iconic shot for about the next 3 decades. Following Dave DeBusschere of the Knicks hitting a free throw line jumper to put the Knicks up 102-100 with only a few seconds left on the clock, West wasn't going to go down easily.
1 second. West throws it up.
Willing a 60-foot jumper in, this shot made the impossible believable for fans, adding significant popularity to a league that was just under 25 years young at the time. An insane top 5's next. First in Speaks, Nicholas Esmail answers with Derrick Rose as his most inspirational player, giving a long take well worth pausing to read. Top comment on the question coming up gets next video shout out. Thanks for all the great takes. Number 5, the Kawhi roll. With 10.8 seconds left in Game 7 of the 2019 Eastern Conference Semifinals, with Toronto up 1 on Philadelphia, Kawhi split a pair of free throws leading to a ruthlessly fast yet under control take to the basket from Jimmy Buckets, threatening to send the game into overtime.
Caught by Harris. 2-point game. Here comes Butler driving way up. Here's caught. He ties the game.
As a Raptor fan, this was a here we go again type moment, and that continued for the first few seconds of our play out of the timeout where Kawhi was hounded by both Simmons and Embiid. Then this happened.
Defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger? Game! Series! Toronto has won!
Whether it was getting massive revenge on Airplane Embiid, or the beautiful arc Leonard got on his shot to allow the ball to sit on the rim and then bounce in for what felt like a few minutes, this was a generationally iconic shot, especially given the picture of Leonard in a full squat waiting for his shot to drop that'll likely be made into a statue one day in Toronto. Number 4, Tim Duncan's fading bank shot / Derek Fisher's miracle. What if I told you a pair of the most difficult shots in NBA history happened on back-to-back possessions? In Game 5 of a second-round series locked at 2 in 2004, inbounding with 1 point and 5 seconds, here's how the Spurs executed.
Ginobili will inbound to Duncan. He gets doubled. Shaq all over him. He gets away a fadeaway. He makes it! 4/10 left! Unbelievable!
Even after LA denies Tim Duncan's handoff to Manu, Mr. Fundamental fades away and drains it from the top of the key with Shaq in his eye and a second defender looming. And while 0.4 seconds remaining would be enough for most players to mentally fold, this time was a bit different.
They get it to Fisher. He scores! Derek Fisher scores at the buzzer!
How D-Fish took the pressure of the clock, ignoring a springy young Manu to convert this heartbreaker, is incomprehensible. Number 3, Jordan's last stand. From Utah's perspective, despite being down 3-2, the Jazz had the final 2 games in their home building and were confident in their chances at securing the title, especially when they were up 1 with the ball and 23 seconds to play. Maybe they got too overconfident. Push off, but the way Jordan sold the push, making it seem like it was all a part of the crossover, made it impossible for the refs to call in real time. Number 2, Kyrie's mesmerizing ISO, with the last Cavalier bucket in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals being a 3 from LeBron at the 4:53 mark in the fourth. The next 4 minutes would be a defensive battle. Couldn't show Kyrie's game winner without probably the greatest chase down block of all time. I'd go in depth on that in another top 15, but the space Kyrie was able to create with just under a minute left here was brilliant.
Trying to get him on Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
After Steph Curry switched on to him with a cross, 1 hesitation, then a double between the legs to fake the drive into 2 mesmerizingly quick hesitations, Uncle Drew proved how lethal his handle is and that he's one of the NBA's clutchest players. Of course, this shot secured Cleveland's 3-1 comeback, the only time in league history that's happened in the finals. Number 1, Ray Allen's Game 6 dagger. 31-year-old Tony Parker ISO'd and stepped back in the face of King James, stole the ball from Chalmers on the other end, then went downhill, pivoted, and hit a dominant 5-foot turnaround jumper in traffic. The Heat were down 5 points with 28 seconds left. Bron bricks it, Wade somehow keeps it alive. This time LBJ makes him pay. Kawhi split a pair of free throws, keeping comeback hopes alive. But the rough night from James continues, and then...
Won't go. Rebound flash. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Parker bricks it on the other end. The Heat won an OT. However, the degree of difficulty here, combined with the fact that the Heat were down 3, with their top talent having an off night, really makes this the greatest shot ever. For the shoutout, either rank your 15 best shots or comment your most memorable shot. Many more lists during the league suspension coming up. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed. This was your boy D Flow. I'll see you next video.